it's Sarah here. In this video, I'm going to be going over the pros and cons of night shift and how to survive it. So let's get started. So first we're going to talk about the pros of night shift. Number one, you make more money. Most places pay between like $4 to $10 more an hour per night shift. So my place pays around like $7 more an hour per night shift, but every place is a little different. But you get more money. Another pro, number two, is that there's no managers around. Because managers generally work during the regular business days, like 9 to 4, 7 to 3, during regular business hours. So first of all, this gives you more independence. Second of all, it's less intimidating because you don't have to worry about like, oh, she's watching me, I have to do really good for her or whatever. And especially for new grads, like it's a better way to learn just because you don't have to worry about like there's the manager, this is there, like that. Number three is it's easier to find a job because most people want a day shift job. So first of all, it's going to go according to seniority. Second of all, there's more night shift openings because people start off at nights and then they switch to days. So if you're a new grad or you want to switch to a different floor and you're not senior in wherever you are, applying for a night shift position would give you a higher probability that you would get the job. Number four, it's easier commuting wise. First of all, it's easier because there's less people on the road, so no traffic. Most people are not commuting somewhere at 6 p.m. Or even in the morning like that. But number two is also tolls, because tolls are increased during rush hour. So like a lot of places, it'll be less money to travel during off hours and will take you half the time to get there. Number five, you could go back to school. So first of all, usually at nights, there's more downtime, so you could actually study whatever you're studying for. Also, if you do night shift, yes, you'll be tired, but you could technically go from a 9 to 10 class if you want to do. Number six is that you're not going to miss anything. So what I mean by this is everything happens during day hours. Let's say you want to go shopping or a party or everything like that. So you're always going to be able to go. Yes, it's going to affect your sleep, which we'll discuss during the cons, but you technically can make it to almost everything and not take off work. Number seven is, I can't say this for everybody for sure, but a lot of times the night shift is more of like a buddy and a group together, less like cliques like that, just because, you know, there's less resources, less managers, so everyone's kind of helping each other, and, you know, everyone's like, it's just kind of more of a group together. And usually it's like more of the newer nurses, so it's not like nurses eat their young, so it's kind of like everybody together. So now let's go on to the cons of night shift. Number one con, like we all know, is the long-term health consequences of it. You could just Google, it'll give you a whole list of long-term health consequences of doing night shift. And by doing night shift, they mean of not sleeping, of not getting regular sleep. Number two, it impacts your social life. Because most people, like we said before, operate during day hours, so your day hours, you're sleeping when they want to go out. Number three, it has a greater potential for error. Because you're tired, you're fatigued, all those stuff, you have a greater possibility of technically doing a mid error or anything else like that. Number four is that you're more prone to get into bad habits, like alcohol, overeating, stuff like that, because you just do what you gotta do to keep yourself up and awake. Number five, family. A lot of times our family takes a hit on it because they're up during those hours, so we need to sleep. We send our kids to a babysitter, or we don't go to this family function and stuff like that. So it kind of could cause family friction or just family not good dynamic. Number six. So this goes for the pros and the cons. So like we said before, during the pro, you could do everything, but it's sacrifices. So a lot of times people will sacrifice their sleep for regular stuff because most stuff are open 9 to 4. So you'll go to the grocery store, but then you're sleeping 2 hours less. Now that we discussed the pros and the cons, let's go on to what you should do. Like what would be a regular, realistic sleeping schedule. Because everyone says, oh, just sleep 10 hours. Like, that's not really realistic for someone who wants to function in the world, has kids, has family, has stuff to do, and is doing night shift. So this is what I do, and this is what many people do. No one's saying you're not going to be tired. That's regular, especially switching from days to nights and days to nights. But this is kind of like more of a healthier way to do night shift. Before a shift, what you do is that you make sure to get 2 to 3 hours before a shift of sleep. So this means that last night I didn't work. Tonight is the start of my shift. So because I didn't work last night, I may not be tired to go to sleep. So first of all, you could wake up early that day. So like today, I could have woken up early. And then also, there's stuff that always put you to sleep. Like some people reading, they'll start reading in a quiet, dark room. They'll fall right asleep. So do something like that to make yourself go to sleep. At least 2 hours, preferably 2 to 3 hours of sleep before you start a shift. Then after the shift. So after the shift, you want to get between 5 to 8 hours of sleep. So the goal is to aim to get 5 to 8 hours of sleep. So 8 hours would be if you have shift the next night. So say, for example, I had shift last night. I'm going to sleep today 8 hours and then go for my next shift tonight. But if you don't have shift, then you could get like 5 hours, because if you got 8 hours, you probably wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. So this means that on a regular day, I go to shift, I come home, I sleep till around 1, 2, if I'm not working that night. And if I am working that night, I sleep till around 4 o'clock. Yes, everyone's circumstances is different and many people can't do this. So for me, I have to pick up my kids. I pick them up 3:30, so I usually sleep till 3. The school's right near me. I pick them up and then I get my around 8 hours of sleep if I'm working that night. If I'm not, I like to wake up at 1 because first of all, I get a few hours before my kids come home. And second of all, I could go to sleep that night and still get a regular sleep. When you are sleeping or trying to put yourself to sleep, you want to make sure to do it in a dark room. So you could use blackout drapes. You also want to make sure there's no noise. So earphones or even like a heater or air conditioner that's making noise so you can't hear any people talking or anything outside. Also, you want to make sure to really shut off your electronics, because most people just spend a lot of hours, looking at your phone, looking at your Instagram, looking at your Facebook, which is fine to go on, just it's not going to help. It'll just keep you up longer, and then it's an hour later and you're still on your Instagram. So you should just shut off your phone or even just quiet it and just tell people, if your mother's going to call, be like, I worked last night, going to sleep now, like that. Just her specifically, because she'll probably call 50 times like that. And you also want to set the right temperature. So if you make your room freezing, for most people, they can't fall asleep because they're just like shivering and freezing. So make it like a warm, nice temperature that you could just kind of fall asleep. And another tip to help you go to sleep is don't eat sugary stuff right before, you can eat sugar stuff when you come home, but if you're going to go to sleep 10 minutes later, if you're going to have caffeine, sugar, alcohol, you're going to end up staying up later and then depriving yourself of sleep. And here are just some other tips for night shift. First of all, don't overwork yourself. So a lot of people, they'll keep taking on shifts and overtime and they'll work another job and 3 other jobs. So this will really ruin your health and your sleep schedule and everything. So if you have 3 shifts in a row and then you're going to take on a day shift the next day, you're going to ruin your health. Just schedule yourself accordingly. And talking about schedule, you also want to make sure to schedule your medications. So for a normal person, let's say you take the medication 7 a.m. So a lot of people during night shift, because they keep switching 3 days nights and then they're regular, they'll forget about their medications and not take it during night shift or take it 10 hours later just because they normally do it like that. So you just want to make sure to have a regular schedule for your medications. Either put it right next to your knapsack when you're leaving to work so you'll remember and take it the same time, 7 p.m. because you'll be up in the day 7 p.m. and you'll be up if you do a night shift 7 p.m. to take it around there. Or make sure to take it at a schedule that you'll be able to do it in days and in nights. And the last point I think is very important is driving. After a night shift, you 12 hours, you could be up, but then if you have like a long drive, sometimes you just fall asleep because you're in the car. Like for me, I used to have to travel a little further than I am now. So I was in the car, I was like, fine, I got out of shift. You can't fall asleep the second you get out of shift just because, you just worked and everything. So then afterwards, I would be driving home, and then like there's a little traffic and you get slow and it's warm in the car, and then I kind of like falling asleep. And it's actually really dangerous. It's like drunk driving. And I know a lot of people, a lot of nurses who got in crashes from doing a night shift and just going home, or even doing a 12-hour day shift and just going home in the dark. Tiring, it puts you to sleep because you're finally relaxing. So we can't really do much because you do have to get home. But what you could do is you could put on music. If it's hot in the car, pull down the windows, like fresh air will waken you up. You could eat, because when you're eating, you won't like fall asleep eating. It will like kind of give you a little bit of a boost, a little bit of energy. And also, if you really can't like even function, you're going like that, then pull over. Take that half hour. Some people need just 10 minutes. Some people need an hour. Just take a little amount of time, not your full sleep, just a little amount of time to rejuvenate yourself, just so you could get home in a safe fashion. That's it for this video. The goal of this video is to help you create a healthy work and life balance. Good luck doing night shift. I do night shift now, and this is what I do. Yes, a lot of times I'm tired and I miss a few stuff during the day, like family functions, but this really helped me, and I hope it helps you. So please subscribe, like this video, and thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. Bye.